Exciting edition of Reading with Mr. Eble. Still doing Miscalculations of Lightning Girl. Today we're going to be reading chapters 12 to 14. Because of Governor Abbott's announcement on Friday, you can expect Reading with Mr. Eble to continue every day between now and the end of the school year. So we'll keep going through Miscalculations of Lightning Girl, and then because school's building is still closed, but distance learning is still going on, we'll do Reading with Mr. Eble every day at noon until the school year is out. If we're not done the book yet, we'll just keep on going and knock it out during that time. So here we go. Chapter 12 of Miscalculations of Lightning Girl. On Tuesday, all 7th graders have to miss part of first period for an assembly. My first period class is math, and the only part of my day that I like. I'd rather have the assembly during language arts or gym or lunch, but no one asks me. Mr. Stoker hands back our homework. I got a 92 on purpose and says to the class, "Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Cobb doesn't like to wait." Levi and I stand up at the same time. I want to say, "Done any cheating lately?" Then I see his homework grade. He got a 45. I decide to continue giving him the silent treatment. Our class sits in the 4th and 5th rows of the auditorium. I'm able to sit, doing my usual third time's a charm routine without touching the armrest, so I don't need my Clorox wipes. Wendy is on my left. Maddie is supposed to take the seat to my right, but she leaves it empty and takes the next chair over. This makes Mr. Stoker upset. "Move all the way over, Maddie." He points to the empty seat next to me. She does what he says, and then the 11 kids to her right have to slide over so that no seat is left empty. Mr. Stoker smiles at me like he's done me a favor. He hasn't. "Don't look at me, don't breathe on me," Maddie whispers. We both lean in opposite directions. After all the classes arrive, the principal gets on stage. "Good morning, East Hamlin Cougars," Dr. Cobb begins. Some people mumble a reply of "good morning," mostly the teachers. By all accounts, we seem to be off to a great school year. Teachers are already handing out piles of homework, and the cafeteria is serving veggie sloppy joes. It makes a principal proud. He pauses, maybe waiting for a laugh. But let's be serious. It's now time to lay a strong foundation for your education and your future. At East Hamlin Middle, we expect our students to flourish, not only in the classroom, but also in the community. This year, like every year, you'll be required to complete a service project. Last year, your projects were class-wide. As 7th graders, you will work in teams of 3 or 4 students to identify a need in your community and a solution. This is your chance to make a difference. You can change the world for the better. Dr. Cobb uses his hands a lot when he talks. He seems to be counting off items on his fingers, but I can't imagine what. Mrs. Jensen runs the program and will give you more information. Dr. Cobb claps as Mrs. Jensen steps forward. The students clap too, sort of. The screen at the back of the stage flitters with color. A PowerPoint presentation pops onto it. I count the words before I read them. 9 words, 50 letters, 1 colon. Cougars Care Projects, making a difference in our community. "I know what you're thinking," Miss Jensen says to us. A statement I always find weird, because I'm never able to guess what another person is thinking. And she claims to know what an entire 7th grade class is thinking. You're asking yourself, how can I make a difference? I'm only 12 or 13 years old. I can't drive. I don't have any money. I have homework and soccer and dance. How can I help my community? That wasn't what I was thinking. I was calculating the number of hours left in the school year, 1,160. Here are some of the projects that 7th graders, students the same as you, have tackled over the past few years. She waves at the screen with one hand and uses her other hand to press a button on a laptop that sits on the podium. We watch a video that profiles different projects. The first shows 3 girls in matching shirts bringing Legos to a local children's hospital. The next features 4 boys who collect old sports equipment to send to Kenya. Never really thought of Kenya as part of my community. One of the boys says because of technology, we have to think of our community on a global scale. The last group is 2 girls and a boy. They organize a day where people help clean Liberty Park. It actually seems like the most work out of the 3 projects. They get sweaty and dirty, and it doesn't look like much fun. When the video finishes, Mrs. Jensen claps. And that is only a sample of the great accomplishments by our students in the past few years. And now it's your turn. When you return to first period, you will receive a packet with all the details. There are several deadlines along the way. The first is next Friday. By then, you'll need to have formed a team of 3 or 4 students and selected a teacher mentor to help you through this project. And by the end of the month, your group will identify a situation in our community that can use your help. Mrs. Jensen goes on about some of the other rules. The projects can't be political, like no handing out flyers for people running for president. We also aren't allowed to raise money for a cause. We can collect stuff, but not cash. And there are rules about religion, too, but they are even more unclear. Wendy grabs my arm when Mrs. Jensen finishes. We'll be a team, right? Sure, I say, but we need another person. I'll find someone, no problem. Then we're going to change the world. She says it like she believes it. Great. I want to be excited with her. I don't think we'll even be able to find someone willing to work with us. Willing to work with me. And changing the world is a tall order for someone who's just trying to survive each day. Chapter 13. Here we go. There's no need to hide my genius in language arts class, because I'm not a genius in language arts class. I'm a decent writer and an okay reader. Got that wrong. I'm a decent reader and an okay writer. I'm neither, apparently. But when a teacher puts words in front of me, I have to count them before I can read them. I like counting, and I'm a fast counter, but I don't have superhero abilities. I saw a scene in this old movie where a waitress drops a box of toothpicks, and this savant guy looks at the pile and tells her how many toothpicks are on the floor in a split second. Definitely 147 toothpicks. 147 toothpicks. I can't do that. It takes me time to total the number of words on the page and the number of letters in the words. I'm sure I'm faster than anyone else in third period language arts, but my counting is extra work that doesn't get me any extra credit. So when Miss Fleming hands out a short story, I try to count the words quickly. Unfortunately, she calls on me to read first. Lucy, please begin. I pass. Excuse me? What exactly are you passing on? She asks, and the rest of the class laughs. Can't someone else read it? I've only counted the words in the first paragraph, 192. I'm sure someone else could read it, but I asked you. She takes off her glasses. I'm not sure why. Maybe I can see her evil stare more clearly. I look down at the story. I count the words in the second paragraph. Only 27, for a total of 219. You may begin, Lucy. Miss Fleming interrupts my counting of the third paragraph. More of the class laughs. I blink a lot to keep my eyes from getting too wet. I read the first paragraph slowly. I pause after each sentence and try to count more words. I can't. I reach the bottom of paragraph 2 and stop. Very nice, Miss Fleming says. Continue, please. The next paragraph is long. I push myself hard to count all the words so I can read. Kids around me murmur. Miss Fleming sighs heavily. My head feels light and my cheeks hot. I lose my spot in the jumble of words. I have to start over. I lost my place, I whisper. I'm not talking about the words but the count. I need the count. My eyes move quickly over the first few lines, reconfirming the totals. First line 17, second line 22, third line also 22, fourth. I'll read, someone calls out. Fine, Miss Fleming says. Take over, Wendy. And Lucy, I'd like to speak with you after class. I let out a breath and sink into my seat. I don't worry about what excuse I'll give Miss Fleming at the end of class. I just count. We finish reading the story as a class. Then we form groups to discuss the theme. I'm grouped with 3 girls I haven't met yet. They make me the secretary, which means I have to write everything down and do all the actual work, while they talk about some boys I don't know. Try my best to answer the questions written on the smartboard. After class, I stick around as Miss Fleming ordered. She seems to forget about me until I start walking toward the door. Lucy, she calls out, do you want to explain your reluctance to participate in class? I shrug. You're a very smart girl. What do you mean? I shouldn't respond. I should be quiet and nod. Miss Fleming's eyebrows shoot up. I mean, you seem like a smart girl. She knows nothing about me. It's just teacher talk. That's a relief. Life is easier when there are no expectations. You're plenty capable of succeeding in this class, but you will need to participate, follow the rules, and do the work. I was the only one in my discussion group who did any work. Miss Fleming doesn't seem to know this, or she doesn't care. Do you understand what's expected out of you? She asks. I don't like to read out loud. The words get jumbled in my head, or my mouth, or something. I try to explain my problem without really explaining my problem, hoping she'll understand and maybe show some sympathy. Okay, this is something we can work on, a goal. She pulls off her glasses and puts them to her lips. Wait 1 second. She walks over to her desk and opens a blue folder. I'm already late for science. Everyone will watch me walk in and watch me sit. Here. She hands me 4 sheets that are stapled together. We'll be reading this story next week. You can practice reading it aloud so you're more comfortable. Thanks. I can count the words ahead of time too. For a split second, I think about telling her the whole truth. I decide against it. And our first class novel will be The Call of the Wild, if you want to read ahead. Call of the Wild. It's an old movie by Harrison Ford. She points to the pile of books on the back shelf. Thanks, I say again. You'll see, Lucy. By the end of the year, we will have you comfortable reading out loud. She gives me an encouraging smile. I wish I could believe her, but I know I'll never be comfortable in this school. Oh. Chapter 14. This will be the last chapter of the day. I survived my first 2 weeks in middle school. Only 171 school days to go until summer break. We have homework for the weekend, but it's for language arts class, not math, so that's disappointing. Mr. Stoker thinks he's rewarding us by not giving homework on Fridays. Wendy and I share a big bag of peanut M&Ms on the bus ride home. I don't mind sharing because she always uses hand sanitizer when I offer it. Hey, my mom said you can come over for a sleepover tomorrow night, Wendy says. Can you come? I don't know what to say. I've never spent the night at someone's house. Don't worry, I told her she has to clean really good for you and get Clorox wipes. A lot of them. You shouldn't have said that. She's going to think I'm a brat. Wendy knows I can carry my own wipes everywhere. It's like she wants her mom to know I'm weird. No, she won't. So can you come? I'll have to ask my grandmother. Can't tell if the feeling in my gut is excitement. Someone's inviting me over. Or is it fear? So much could go wrong. Or maybe I haven't cleaned the desks enough at school and have finally caught some disease. I'm pretty sure I'm going to throw up. Why do you want me to sleep over? I ask. It'll be fun. Okay. Wendy gets off the bus before I do. She says she'll call me in an hour to make plans. She needs to know if I'm allowed to watch R-rated movies or just PG-13, and if I can smuggle in candy. Nana is thrilled to hear about the sleepover. Judging by her jumping up and jumping around, you'd think I'd been invited to the White House. The next day, we argue about things we've never argued about before. Clothes. Not those pajamas, she makes a disgusted face. They're ratty. Take the purple PJs with the owls. They're not comfortable, I say. They're cute. Cute wins. But only because I don't feel like arguing anymore. We're leaving in 5 minutes, she says. That gives me enough time to get online and explain my absence. Haven't missed a Saturday night math chat since February. And that was because we had an ice storm and didn't have power for 106 hours. Lightning Girl. It is with a heavy heart that I share this news, Lightning Girl. I'll be unavailable for the Saturday night math chat, Lightning Girl. When I return in 18 hours, I will comment on the topics discussed. Trying to sound professional, but judging by the reactions, I may have taken it too far. Squarehead 314. LG, is everything okay? Numberlicious. Sounds serious. Hip hypotenuse. You're in my thoughts and prayers. Lightning Girl. I'm okay. Lightning Girl. TTYL. Or tomorrow. Wendy lives in a neighborhood where every home has a sign in the bushes advertising its branded security system. Her house is 3 stories tall with real pillars out front. Nice place, Nana says as we walk past the rose bushes and onto the porch. I go to ring the doorbell with my elbow, but Wendy opens the door before I get a chance. I've been waiting all day. Wendy yanks me in by the arm. Come in, she says to Nana. Hey, I tap my toe 3 times. Look, hand sanitizer, right near the door, just like at your place. It's the only thing about Wendy's house that is just like my place. She gives me 2 squirts. Thanks. Wendy picks up a paper from the same table and puts it in my face. Here's a list of everything we're going to do. She holds it too close for me to read. I can see that she's numbered the activities, all 31 of them. Okay, I say. Probably don't sound okay. I can't catch my breath. Mrs. Callahan, is Lucy allowed to dye her hair? Wendy asks. Nana says, are your parents home? My mom is, Wendy answers. Then she turns around and yells into the quiet house. Mom, Lucy's grandma wants to talk to you. Wendy turns back to us with a smile. My father doesn't live here anymore. My mom kicked him out last year. Not supposed to know the reason, but I do. Do you want me to tell you? No, Nana answers. Miss Sitton walks into the foyer before Wendy can share any family secrets. Her shoes click on the hardwood floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She's tall and thin and very put together, like with makeup and jewelry and high heels. Her black skirt and pink shirt, the color of 11, make me think she's dressed for something important, or that she is really important. She looks nothing like Wendy. Hello, she holds out her hand to Nana. I'm Adele Sitton. Barb Callahan. Thank you so much for allowing Lucy to come over, Miss Sitton says. I've heard so much about her. That makes my stomach hurt. What does she know? What did Lucy say? What did Wendy say? Did she Google search me? Lucy's very excited, Nana says. Great. Miss Sitton puts her hand over Wendy's ears. Wendy has a hard time making friends. I can still hear you, Mom. Wendy pushes her away. The adults exchange phone numbers, and Miss Sitton asks if I have any allergies. I don't. Then it's time for goodbye. Have fun, Nana says. Call me if you need anything. She kisses my cheek. Suddenly, I think I might cry, which is stupid because I'm only going to be gone 18 hours. Look at my watch. 17 hours and 41 minutes. I miss my bed, I miss my room, my computer, my nana, my ratty pajamas. I close my eyes and recite the number of pi in my head. 3.141592653589793 blah 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 blah. You okay? Wendy asked, grabbing my shoulder. Yeah. I tap my toe 3 times to stop the flow of numbers. Come on. She gives me a tour of the house, which doesn't include many details. Dining room, fancy living room with no TV, mom's room, kitchen, all of them are huge. I count the stairs as we walk up, 18, and don't touch the handrail. Wendy has an older sister named Cherish, who isn't home. The upstairs belongs to them. They each have a bedroom. There's a study with 2 desks, and the walls are lined with bookshelves. I want to count all the books, but we don't stop. And a room she calls Frog, with a big TV, beanbag chairs, a video game system, and a shelf of board games. Frog? I ask. There isn't an aquarium, and it isn't decorated with Kermit pictures or lily pads. Family room, over garage. Frog. I guess it's a term you only learn if you own a mansion. So what should we do first? Wendy asks. She takes my bag and puts it down on the counter. A container of Clorox wipes sits on her dresser. Across the top is written, For Lucy. I thought you had a list. I tap my toe 3 times. I do, she smiles. I was trying to be polite. Whatever you want to do. I don't mean whatever. There are plenty of things that I would never do, like share a fork or eat in a restaurant with a sanitation rating lower than an A. Purple walls of Wendy's room are covered with an odd combination of adorable Save the Animal pictures and Broadway musical posters. A bulletin board filled with ticket stubs and photos hangs above her bed. Is that Maddie? I ask, pointing to a picture taken on a beach. I already know the answer. It's definitely Maddie. She's in 6 pictures. Camping, birthday party, roller skating, Girl Scouts, soccer team, dance class. Wendy moves closer and squints. Oh yeah, our moms are good friends, so we hang out sometimes. Really? Well, we used to. What happened? I asked. Wendy shrugs. We're still kind of friends. She's just super popular now. And the worst person I've met, I thought. So what are we going to do? I ask, changing the subject. Manis and Petties. She holds up 2 bottles of nail polish. It's the best brand, never tested on animals. Okay, but can we wash our hands first? Sure. A few minutes later, we're painting each other's nails to the soundtrack of Newsies. We both have very sad nails, short and broken. Wendy paints mine lime green, like the number 41, and I paint hers bright pink, a shade lighter than the number 21. You're not very good at this, Wendy laughs. You keep getting polish on my knuckles. Sorry, I say. I've never painted anyone's nails before. It's also hard because I try not to hold her hand while running the brush over each nail 3 times. Really? I guess I've been in training since the moment I was born. My mom owns 2 day spas. She's all about looking good and feeling good. She's in her 40s and she still wears a bikini when we go to the beach. She's very pretty, I say. I know, and I don't look anything like her. Wendy slowly shakes her head. Lucky for her, she has my sister. You can see the shared DNA in their long eyelashes and small butts. You have nice eyelashes, I say, hoping to make her feel better. Never really noticed her eyelashes behind her glasses. They're nice enough. Whatever, I'm pretty sure I was switched at birth. At least I hope so. I look forward to meeting my real mom someday. I'll know her when I see her. In one hand, she'll be carrying a bag of peanut butter cups, and in the other, a Greenpeace sign. I think your mom's nice. Whatever. Wendy rolls her eyes. What about your parents? Where are they? Dead or something? Yeah. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I hold up a hand to stop her apology. It's okay. My mom died of ovarian cancer when I was a baby. I don't remember her. And I never knew my dad. He didn't stick around. Uncle Paul says my dad split 2 seconds after the pregnancy test came back positive, and that was a good decision for all of us, especially me. Wendy's eyebrows lift high on her face, and her lips turn down. Lucy, I'm so sorry. You're like an orphan. I laugh. Stop, please. I'm not an orphan. I thought of myself as a genius, a savant, and a freak, but never an orphan. Nana has always been there, and Uncle Paul too. I'm fine. I don't need you to collect canned goods for me or give me a coat for winter. I have a family. Don't turn me into a Cougar's Care project. Wendy opens another bottle of nail polish. It's bright yellow, like the number 2. I guess we could help other less fortunate orphans, unless you've had any ideas about our project. Not really. We still need another person in our group. The school said we should be a team of 3 or 4. Obviously, I would vote for a team of 3. Still working on it. It's hard to find the perfect candidate. When Wendy finishes, my hands look great. On top of each lime green nail, she's painted a yellow lightning bolt. Like your necklace, she says. You always wear it. I am Lightning Girl, I say. The name slips out of my mouth before my brain thinks about what I'm saying. She tilts her head. What does that mean? It's a nickname my Uncle Paul gave me. I lie. He always only calls me Genius. Why? When I was little, I ran around a lot and I was fast. The lies keep coming. Wendy shrugs and checks out her own manicure. It looks like I put on her polish with an old toothbrush. But she doesn't complain. I know what we can do next. She pulls out a book from a drawer in her desk. 101 Things You Never Knew About Your Best Friend. I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, and probably not by its title either, but I instantly want to give it 2 thumbs up or 5 stars. I'm not sure what scale is used to measure excellence in literature. There's a prime number in the title, and the words best friend. No one has ever called me a best friend. Wendy hands me a purple pen, like the number 3, which I wipe down, and she grabs an aqua pen that's similar to 75, and we get to work. I learned Wendy wants to be an environmental lawyer. She's afraid of hot air balloons, and her favorite quote is not from a musical, but from a movie. Dumbledore in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. It is not our abilities that show what we truly are, it is our choices. I worry she might know my ability and my secret, and quoting Einstein will only make her more suspicious. So I lie and say my favorite quote is Dory's famous line from Finding Nemo, just keep swimming. She nods, like this makes complete sense. We finish the book, we eat gluten-free fake cheese pizza. We watch 3 movies, including a horror flick, while munching on unbuttered popcorn and the gummy bears I brought from home. We sleep with the lights on. We make plans to do it all again next weekend. Only think about my online math chat 3 times. That is about 80% less than I normally would in an 18-hour period. So that is the end of chapter 14. So we'll be continuing on with the Miscalculations of Lightning Girl tomorrow at noon. We'll keep on reading every day at noon until the end of the school year. So y'all have a great day. Keep working hard. Students, most importantly, make sure you're taking care of each other and make sure as well that you are staying safe. And remember, Rangers of the way.